History of the Dayak tribe. The Dayak tribe is a native of Borneo who lives in groups living in the interior, on the mountain, and so on. The word Dayak itself was actually given by Malays who came to Borneo. The Dayaks themselves actually object to using the Dayak name because it is more interpreted rather negatively. In fact, the motto of the Dayaks is Mantangu Amamat, which means someone who has brave strength and does not know surrender or never retreat. Origin. In the year 1977 to 1978, at that time, the Asian continent and the island of Borneo, which were part of the archipelago, were still united, which allowed the Mongoloid race from Asia to wander through the land and arrive in Borneo by crossing mountains now called the Muller-Schwaner Mountains. The Dayak tribe is a true resident of Borneo. But after the Malays from Sumatra and the Malacca Peninsula arrived, they increasingly retreated inward. Not to mention the arrival of Bugis, Makassar, and Java people during the heyday of the Majapahit kingdom. Dayak tribes live scattered throughout the Kalimantan region for a long period of time. They have to spread through the rivers downstream and then inhabit the coastal island of Borneo. This tribe consists of several tribes, each of which has a different nature and behavior. Dayak tribes once built an empire. In the Dayak oral tradition, it is often called Mansarunai Usuk Jawa, which is an Ansarunai Dayak kingdom destroyed by Majapahit, which is thought to occur between 1309 to 1389 Fridolin Euchre, 1971. The incident resulted in the Dayaks being pushed and scattered, some of them in the interior. The next large current occurred at the time of the influence of Islam, which originated from the Dayak kingdom along with the entry of Malay merchants circa 1608. Most Dayak tribes embraced Islam and no longer recognized themselves as Dayaks, but called themselves Malays or Banyar people. While Dayaks who reject Islam return along the river into the interior of central Kalimantan, settling in the areas of Kautenji, Amuntai, Margasari, Watang Amanda, Labuan Lawas and Watang Balangan. Some more continue to be pushed into the jungle. Most Dayak Muslims are in South Kalimantan and part of Katawarangan. One of the famous Sultan of the Banyar Sultanate is Lamang Mangkrat is actually a Dayak Manyanarat Danam. Not only from the archipelago, other nations also came to Kalimantan. The Chinese nation is thought to have begun to come to Borneo during the Ming dynasty in 1368 to 1643. From the Kanji lettered manuscript, it was stated that the first city visited was Banjarmasin. But it is still unclear whether the Chinese nation came in the era of Banjarmasin under the Majapahit hegemony, or in the Islamic era. The arrival of the Chinese nation did not result in the displacement of the Dayak population and had no direct influence because they only traded, especially with the Banyar kingdom in Banjarmasin. They did not immediately trade with Dayaks. The legacy of the Chinese nation is still kept by some Dayak tribes such as Malawan plates, pots, jars, and ceramic equipment. Since the beginning of the 5th century, the Chinese nation has arrived in Borneo. In the XV century, King Yonglo sent a large army to the south, including the archipelago, under the leadership of Chang Ho, and returned to China in 1407, after previously stopping to Java, Kalimantan, Malacca, Manila and Solok. In 1750, the Mempawah Sultan accepted Chinese people from Brunei, who were looking for gold. These Chinese people also carry merchandise including opium, silk, glassware such as plates, cups, bowls and jars. Sarwodo Kurta de Pero, 1963. Under this there are some customs